What time is it? Say it's time for KP's Video News. KP's Video News. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all.
That's right. It's time.
What time is it? What time?
KP's Video News, y'all. News. Yep. And this is Sunday, June 28th. June 28th. Big ups, Mick. I could give a shout out here to some of my peeps out there that have been very, very, very instrumental in helping me get this, keep this thing rolling. Number one, Karen K from LA. Thank you for your inspiration, and thank you for this article you sent me here that I'm going to report on today. Ayana from Phoenix, handle your business over there. Got Mickey D in the Scoop in Vegas. And also I want to give a shout outs to Kev Mack and Skip Townsend on YouTube, being inspiration on YouTube. Some of my YouTube brothers, Skip Townsend, Kev Mack, and Mickey D at the Scoop, all of them on YouTube. Check out their YouTube pages. And so I'm going to get started right quick. We have former police officers openly plotting to kill Black Lives Matter activist SHAUN King. An investigation has been launched after members of a Facebook group for California law enforcement officers were found to be allegedly planning to kill SHAUN King, an activist for Black Lives Matter movement and other social causes. In an article written for Medium featuring screenshots of a discussion among members of the group, King said inside of a private Facebook group for California law enforcement officers, members of the group were openly plotting and planning his assassination. Who do you call to report the misconduct of current or retired law enforcement officers? Because I lack confidence in any law enforcement system to handle this, I'll feel the burdens to release this publicly for my own safety and for the safety of my family, he said. The Facebook group includes 3 former officers of the Long Beach Police Department, LBPD. The department has shared the information from the latest incident with this investigations bureau for further review and recommendations for a criminal investigation. The FBI will also be assisting the department with the matter. The former Long Beach Police Department officers included Laura Taglioni, who worked until May 15, 1977 at Long Beach, Jerry Garcia, who worked until June of 2014, and Mary Jensen, who worked there until May 1993, the department confirmed. The LPD also confirmed one of its current employees had the same name as a member of this Facebook group, but added this employee did not involved in the online group. We also have no information indicating that any other Long Beach Police Department employees are involved in the situation, the department said in a statement. At least 12 individual Facebook accounts posted messages in the thread group, many which received a thumbs up reaction from other users, according to the screenshots shared by King. The conversation was reported to have started with Taglioni, who wrote, "I think California needs to start putting a team together of retired military police and NRA. These criminals need to be stopped." Facebook user John Hutchins replied, posted, "SHAUN Kings need to be put down." Wow. User Roy Brokaw wrote, "I'm with you, brothers and sisters, for justice. I'll be there. Tell me when and where. Does anyone know where SHAUN King can be found?" Another user, Chris Sanford, posted, "Toss this guy from a helicopter." Jerry DeRosa, reported to be a retired LAPD department officer, reported, "Need a sniper." Jerry Garcia, another Long Beach retiree, wrote, "I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get going." Then Tartaglione then wrote, "Organize it, Jeff. When Garcia replied, "Roger with that, Laura." User Billy Dishman wrote, "Let's get it going. I'm in." Another user, Henry Martinez, posted an image of a man with a gun and wrote, "Yes, some of us may be old, but we still have a sharp eye and a steady hand, and some of these anti-Americans need to be set straight." King noted that he had received death threats on a daily basis for years. But what we found in this private Facebook group is altogether different. These were men and women in a private group that had no idea I'd ever see using their real names and identities, openly plotting to kill me and organizing with each other to execute it, he wrote. And the thread of Facebook group was reported to have grown since Tuesday, the day when King was informed about the Facebook group. We thought this was an isolated incident, but since this, we've seen death threats against me spread all over the country in other private groups and dozens of public pages on conservative blogs and more, King said. The Long Beach PD noted it is appalled and deeply disturbed by the tone and content of the post, which is in no way reflect the core values and professional standards held by the men and women in our organization. Blah, blah, blah. And the latest incident comes amid ongoing demonstrations across the globe after George Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, was killed during an arrest by officers in Minneapolis. He was pinned to the ground with a knee on his neck, and the killing of Floyd sparked a resurgence of the BLM, Black Lives Matter movement, and renewed outcry against police brutality and racism. Earlier this week, a police officer in North Carolina was fired after being caught on camera saying he can't wait to slaughter black people and that a civil war was needed to wipe them out. A Miami police officer was fired this week and was facing charges after he was seen in a video dragging a pregnant black woman out of her car, kneeling on her neck and using his taser on her twice. Wow. Wow. This is crazy, man. So now you got the racist Klan cops out there that are going crazy, man. They're going crazy, attacking black people and coming up with little crazy groups out there all the time. All that mess is happening. They're not focusing on what the DC dunce and all his idiots are doing doing against the American people. Now, the Black Lives Matter have been protesting, but they have never, ever, ever resulted to any type of violence as far as trying to kill people and all the rest of that. You cannot name not one incident where Black Lives Matter has tried to do anything about killing any cops. It has never happened. So, but this right here is just, you know, they're having to make some changes, and they're having to change their racist ways as far as like beating up people and killing people. Now it's like they're retaliating by trying to kill as many black people as they can. So you got to be aware of what's going on. And then here's a Russian intel group offered bounties for killing coalition troops in Afghanistan. Thanks to Karen K from LA for this story here. And it's a real bad situation. The Russian military unit secretly sought to offer rewards to Taliban-linked militants to incentivize them to hunt and kill coalition forces in Afghanistan as the Trump administration engaged in peace talks at the end of nearly 2 decades. The soldiers been over there for 2 decades, man, in Afghanistan. And a lot of people been trying to scratch their heads trying to figure out, why are they in Afghanistan in the first place? Opium. It's tons and tons and tons of opium there. It's nothing else there. It's no oil there. It's no other crops there. They grow opium all over Afghanistan. So the United States has basically been fighting this war for opium. And the pharmaceutical companies in the United States want it. They don't want to pay for it. They just want to take it, because they use the opium to make all of your oxycodone and OxyContin and morphine and any other drug that has codeine in it is made from opium. So the United States has been over there for 20 years in Afghanistan trying to take control of the opium fields, and they still can't do it. So now, as a result of that, DC dunce and all of those idiots over there, they're talking about pulling out after 20 years. Citing officials briefed on the matter reported Friday that the U.S. intelligence apparatus is known for months about the alleged efforts of the Russian military intelligence unit, which reportedly provided rewards to militants for successful attacks last year. U.S. troops were among the targeted coalition forces, according to the Times, which reported that some militants or associated entities are believed to have received rewards, while 20 Americans died last year in combat in Afghanistan. It's unclear how many or which specific cases are linked to the killing bounties. DC Dunce and other intelligence officials in the National Security Council reportedly discussed the matter in a meeting in late March, where they weighed a series of potential responses. However, no formal steps have been made. Sources said they were unclear why there has been a delay. The motivations of Russian intelligence units' alleged efforts are also unclear. Some officials theorized the efforts could be to destabilize the West or take revenge for pro-Syria forces being killed when advancing on an American outpost in 2018, or keep the U.S. tied in a war in Afghanistan by thwarting peace talks. Such actions would mark a major escalation of Russian support of the Taliban and an attempt to turn violence on the coalition forces. It would also mark an escalation of the Russian interference in the Afghanistan war and to sow discord during the 2016 presidential election, during which the Kremlin used disinformation campaigns on social media platforms and cyber attacks to amplify an already divisive race. The Kremlin has not officially commented on a report saying that they will do so if they see the U.S. Make accusations. The Department of Defense and the CIA declined to comment on the story, and the State Department also declined to comment, and officials described the intelligence closely held secret, but the small group with knowledge to the covert attack expanded this week after the British government, which also was targeted, was briefed on the matter. So discovery of Russia's alleged actions also comes as the White House and the country grapples with a growing crisis from the coronavirus pandemic, which causes cases surging in a number of states. Officials also said they are unclear on how high the orders went up in the Russian government, but said it appears to be part of Russia's military intelligence agency known as the GRU. And this unit reportedly is filled with highly experienced military officials, some dating back to the Soviet Union days, and their actions tend to be more violent than the actions like cyber attacks. The unit is believed to be behind the poisoning of Sergei Skripal, a former GRU unit officer who defected, and the DC dunce. Trump has generally sought to maintain an accommodating relationships with Russia, including recently seeking to invite Russian President Vladimir Putin to an expanded meeting of the group G7 countries. He has also previously indicated that he believed Putin's denial about interfering in 2016 elections, despite his own intelligence community's conclusions. And so, you know, hey, DC Dunce is in cahoots with Vladimir Putin over there to getting his own people murdered. They had a murder bounty on the troops, the U.S. troops in Afghanistan, being funded by Russia. At the same time, Trump is kissing Putin's butt. But at the same time he's kissing Putin's butt, Putin is putting a bounty out on U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Wow. Thanks, Karen K in LA, for that story. And this is I'm gonna do this one real quick. The House Democrats passed D.C. statehood bill on Friday. The House Democrats approved a bill to admit Washington, D.C. as a state on Friday, marking the first time either chamber of Congress has advanced the D.C. statehood measures. The bill, introduced by D.C.'s non-voting House member, Delegate Eleanor Norton, would shrink the federal capital to a small area encompassing the White House, Capitol Building, Supreme Court, and other federal buildings, along with the National Mall, and the rest of the city would become the 51st state, named Washington. Douglas Commonwealth after abolitionist, named the Washington Douglas Commonwealth after abolitionist Frederick Douglass. Oh, okay. Oh, the name that they want to use for the 51st state would be named the Washington Douglas Commonwealth. All right. Named after Frederick Douglass. All right, okay. The bill passed with a vote of 232 to 180, so we got to get this thing going. The bill would grant D.C. 2 senators and make the existing sole House representative a House member, and it's unlikely to gain traction in the Republican-held Senate. However, the D.C. dunce said if the bill came to his desk, he was going to veto it anyway. So, no, that's okay. Put it out there now, and once the D.C. dunce is gone, we can get a real president in there, and we can go ahead on and get this done and turn Washington, D.C. into a state. And therefore, they'll be able to get representation. They'll have control of the city, complete control, with the exception of the little capital area. The little capital area be, its own section, and like it is now, D.C. And then, but the rest of it will be Washington Douglas Commonwealth, and that'll work. That worked for me. All right, folks, we doing what we got to do, and you know who it is.
Is it? Say it's time for KP's Video News. KP's Video News. It's KP's Video News, y'all.